Okay. So now tell us about raising your own family. What kind of advice did you give your own kids? Do you think is what's the most important advice you gave your family? These are tough questions. But I know you give a lot of good advice. So you have more than one answer.
To be active, to get along with one another, even though they'd have petty fights, but when you normally to get along with one another, and to do well in school.
Do well in school. Yeah.
Do well in school and have that target. So, see, because I counseled some other kids, and that their parents had college degrees, and they said they needed help, and so I talked to them.
Because the kids didn't want to go to college, or didn't have any interest.
Well, they didn't know. They didn't know, so they talked to them, and but unfortunately, some of the kids I would talk to. Well, when I mentioned when I grew up, they were all going to college, so it was quite easy.
Yeah.
It was just presumed that we were all going to go to college.
Yeah.
But here, because they knew our kids were going to college, so even though they finished, some of the other parents had gone to college, they were having difficulty with their kids, so they would call us and ask, "Hey, would you talk to my son?"
Huh.
So I talked to them, and you'd get different reasons. Like some would say, well, they wanted to work, and if they worked, then they'd try to fit in college, and that didn't work. And of course, and I would tell them that, well, one wanted to be like, say, in maintenance, but they'd be on days and nights and different shifts.
Yeah, yeah.
So I said that'd never work.
Right.
But they never wanted to lose income.
Yeah.
And the parents normally, because many of them, the parents themselves didn't go to college, and they didn't, and the parents weren't going to give up any of their money.
Right.
To have their kids go to school. So there were a number of strikes against them.
Right. Tough sell. It was a tough sell.
Yeah.
So how many kids do you think you talked to? We're talking dozens.
Oh. I would say maybe 2,000, maybe 20.
20. Yeah. All local, mostly local.
Mostly, yeah.
Neighborhood kids. Well, that's pretty good. So you were like the mentor.
Right, because there were others that their fathers went to college themselves, and they said they can't get through to their sons, and so they knew we were having success with our kids.
Uh-huh.
So they said, "Would you talk to ours?" I said, "Sure, I'd be happy to talk."
Very good, very good. So what was the biggest influence?
But one factor was that, see, some of them would say, well, they might want to go to college, but they didn't want to save money.
Yeah.
They'd buy a car, number one. With all the expenses and with the car and everything else. So they never had the money saved to go to college, and that wasn't a priority.
Right, right. Okay. So it's tough. It's hard to convince them otherwise.
If the parents didn't go on to college, it was a tougher sell, because then they didn't know how to direct their own kids.
So as far as you're concerned, college is an important thing to do, at least
absolutely,
for your kids' generation.
You're behind the eight ball as soon as you...
Yeah.
If someone has the intelligence, they should find all reasons. I don't care what kind of school they pick. They should find all reasons to go.
Good.
But they got to sit down and talk to them and say. And the thing is, people, because there's lots of money involved, they don't want to talk about money, or say say for example now with your son, say he's working and say maybe he has a bank account and saving money and so on like that. Well, maybe they'd say, no, I don't want to give the money to college, or But I mean, those are the things you have to sit down and
Right.
talk about.
Right.
Either, there has to be sharing. There
Yeah.
has to be-
So you split the expenses with your kids, right? You made them pay for part of it. I think, didn't you?
Wherever possible.
Yeah.
But each one was a little different, I think. That,
Yeah. But by making them pay for it, it kind of a little bit. It gives
well,
them
to
a
give
little
them
more.
that a responsibility.
That's right. If you give them a
See,
free ride.
and then also they worked in the cafeteria school and,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the different things. So you have to work out the financial arrangements
Yeah.
in advance so you don't get shocked and all of a sudden you get a bill and you say, I don't know how I'm going to take care of this.
Right. Right. Yep. Very good.
So,
So have you done it?
so there's a lot of work you've got to do, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And we're not going to be able to eat for a couple months, probably a year. But so all right. So we're going to change gears. So what was the biggest influence on
Well,
your life?
yes, going back to that.
Yeah.
See, instead of eating like maybe steaks every night, maybe hot dogs and something like that, or
Switch from steaks to hot dogs.
or
Yeah.
whatever.
What do you think? Should we do that? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
You just can't lose that
Long-term goal.
The college.
Yeah.
College.
Yeah. That's a big deal. All right. Anybody else can chip in here? So, what was the biggest influence in your life? If you could summarize, like a person or an event, and that's a tough question.
I would say probably the biggest influence. One of the biggest probably would have been my father, I guess, because they went on. He got his degree.
And where did he go to school?
Wharton.
Wharton.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
the prestigious Wharton School.
Right.
What town is that in?
Philadelphia.
It's in Philadelphia. Oh, that's a famous school.
Yeah. So as long as you set your goals,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be easy,
Yeah.
and you say, well, okay, here's what we're going to do. And like, say, for example, with Tony, for example.
Yeah.
All right, say, take a summer and it gets a good, you make sure he gets a good summer job if he's going to school, and enough to pay some of the tuition.
Yeah.
Maybe he won't make enough to, all, but the parents have to. They said sometimes the parents don't want to give anything. So,
Right.
And so if the parents will contribute their share and the child his share, and then it works out.
Then it works out. Yep.